A very warm good morning to all my children. Here I am with another video lecture, and as you can see on the board, today I'll be taking up a writing skill, and the topic which we are going to do today is paragraph writing. And I have shared a PPT along with this video, which is going to give you the following details that I have mentioned here. You can see the subheadings. First of all, we'll be discussing what is the meaning of a paragraph. What do we understand by paragraph? Next, we'll be taking up the different types of paragraph. As per the purpose for what a paragraph is written, it is broadly classified into 4 headings. Those headings I'll be discussing in detail with the help of a PPT. Next, we'll take up the points to be remembered. When we are framing a paragraph, what are the things we should take care of? So all those points I'll let you know. Next, I'll be sharing with you a sample of the paragraph. Once we discuss all these points, how these points are actually applied in paragraph writing, that you will come to know by seeing the sample. What I want right now is that you should pay attention to structure of a paragraph. Structure of a paragraph, I've given the heading and I have put 3 subheadings under it. The first one is topical sentence, second is supporting sentence, third is our concluding sentence. Now we need to understand all these 3 types of sentences before we know how we should frame a paragraph. As the name suggests, topical sentence, the first sentence of the paragraph is called topical sentence and it should be related to the topic. That means, say for example, I'm writing a paragraph on water conservation. My first sentence to begin the paragraph would be, water is a basic necessity. Okay, or I can say water is the elixir of life. Okay, so now these sentences, they suggest the importance of water. Okay, and the person who is reading about water conservation connects it directly with the topic. Then I can start with the supporting sentences, that how it is important. Then I'll start telling that what are the ways we use the water. Then I'll tell you that how or what are the ways we can use for preserving water and why should we preserving. This way I will continue with my content. So those sentences will be referred as the supporting sentences. I have given the heading, then I have given the first topical sentence, then to support that sentence I am adding so many sentences to frame a paragraph. Lastly, I'll be writing a concluding sentence. Now, what is a concluding sentence? That could be your own point of view, it could be a fact, it could be something in general as well. For example, if I have to conclude the paragraph writing on water conservation, I might end it as, water conservation is the need of the hour. That means it is extremely important for us to conserve water and everyone should conserve water. So my reader should be left with the thought that it is important and it should be done. So in any way, as per the topic, you can conclude your paragraph. So your topical sentence and concluding sentence should be very attractive. One precaution you need to take is that while concluding your paragraph, you should not be sharing a new fact that is completely different from the supporting sentences. Whatever you use in your conclusion, that must be associated with the first sentences that you have used. So that's all about the different structure, the different kinds of sentences that we use in a structure of a paragraph. Now we shall understand these following subheadings with the help of a PPT. I hope you understand the topic very clearly and you enjoy your activity of writing the paragraph as well.
Now we shall learn how to write a paragraph, and in order to do so, first we shall understand what do we mean by paragraph. A group of sentences, a clear main idea, supporting information, part of a longer composition, a miniature essay. So like I had explained you, what is a paragraph? It is a group of sentences. We use the topical sentences, supporting sentences, concluding sentences to form a paragraph, and the paragraph is always about a single heading. On the top of the paragraph there is a heading, and the entire paragraph is based on that heading itself, and we give supporting information in that paragraph, like we include some statistics data, some facts, some examples, etc. And if you have noticed that stories and compositions, they have many paragraphs into it. And what is an essay? Essay is generally written on a particular topic, but an essay includes many paragraphs. But a single paragraph, we can say that it is a miniature essay, because a single paragraph talks about a single thing only. Then there are different types of paragraphs like descriptive, narrative, expository, and persuasive. So I'll just give you an example of descriptive paragraph. When you are writing a paragraph about my house, my home, so you will be describing how your house is to look at, what are the different facilities that are available in your house, how many members are staying, how many rooms are there, what is the spatial arrangement of the things in your home. Everything you will be describing, and anyone who reads the paragraph that you have framed, that person can imagine it side by side. A picture is being formed when you're talking about it. So that is called descriptive paragraph. Next is narrative paragraph. It's like sharing an incident. For example, if a reporter writes a paragraph about a road accident, so she'll be explaining that when we reached the spot, we could see that the person who was wounded was bleeding, the ambulance had been called, there were many people who had surrounded him, and the man really needed help. So all these things are describing that particular incident, narrating whatever had already happened. So that is narrative paragraph. Expository paragraph, that means to inform, to explain. For example, if I write a paragraph on precautions in corona phase, okay, so in that particular paragraph I'll be giving you the details of what are the things you should be doing, like you should be using the sanitizers, you should not be going out, you should be using masks, you should be washing everything before you use whatever you buy from the market, all those things. So that is informing you, giving you explanation, giving you information. Next is persuasive. Persuasive paragraphs are used for creating a point of view. For example, if I am writing a paragraph about Amul, the dairy company, okay? Now in this paragraph, I personally think that Amul is the best brand for dairy products. Like if I want to buy milk or maybe butter, I would prefer going for Amul and not for Vita. So I'll be writing a paragraph where I'll be sharing the information, the facts, that this company is so old and this brand has been giving so good services since such a long time. The different variety of products it is providing at a reasonable rate, it is providing, all those things I'll be explaining just to keep the point that yes, this is the best brand. So that kind of a paragraph we can say is persuasive, where I want to change your point of view to a particular thing that I think is right. Next, how do we write a paragraph? First of all, we gather the information, like whatever is the heading, that means the topic about which we have to write the paragraph. We will gather all the things that we know about it, and we will start organizing it into proper order, so that when we write the paragraph, everybody can understand that what are we talking about, and it is in the proper sequence. We first write it down, and then we check again that whether we have used the punctuation marks, is there any spelling errors, do we need to change any word in the paragraph, do we need to add any other information. So all these things we do in the editing, and finally when we are convinced, we simply write the paragraph. Then, like I was saying, that we use supporting sentences. So what is supporting sentences? Supporting sentences involve supporting ideas and proofs of something, examples and details. For example, if I was writing about the pandemic corona, so what evidences should I be using? I should be using the statistics that so many people have died, and the number of people that have died in different places, in different states, in different countries. Then I could even cite an example like the president of Italy had died because of this corona disease last year. So all these examples, evidences I can use for supporting my paragraph. Then when I am writing the paragraph, I should be using a variety of sentences. I should make sure that the spellings are correct and grammatically things I have placed in correct order in the correct tense. Next, coherence. We have to organize our data as per spatial, chronological importance and logically, and it should be clear and sensible. Connection can be made by the reader. For example, spatial means giving details of the space that people are able to imagine. Whatever you're describing, they can frame a picture side by side. Chronological order means right now whatever has happened, we'll talk about this year, and then we'll go back to what happened 6 months before, and then before 1 year. So this is how it goes, and things should be placed as per the importance. Okay, and whoever reads our paragraph should be able to find logic into it. So what are the qualities of a good paragraph? It should be having unity. That means all the lines, all the sentences of the paragraph we should feel that yes, this is to the topic, it is related to the topic. Nice supportive sentences should be there, things to be arranged in order, a nice language should be used, and variety of sentences needs to be used as well. Unity of thought is very, very important to be kept. We should remember that whatever is the heading on whatever topic we are writing, we don't lose that topic. We don't start describing all of a sudden something which is not important, which is not related to the heading of our paragraph. So I'll just share an example of a paragraph with you. It is on canine teeth. One of the most important types of teeth in the human mouth is the canines, which are long, sharp teeth found in the front corners of the upper and lower rows of teeth between the incisors and baccuspids. Because they are long and strong and deeply rooted, they have several functions. First, even though canines do not chew food, they guide the jaw during the chewing process. Second, they shape the face. They can also serve as anchors for the other teeth when a dentist puts in bridge work. And finally, as the name canine suggests, they work like the teeth of a dog to cut and tear food and to bite. In sum, the purpose of these essential sharp teeth is manifold. So you can see the very first line is related directly to our topic. That shows that importance of canine teeth. Next, all the lines, all the words, all the vocabulary I have used that is related, that is giving information about canine teeth. It is giving examples like we are using, how we are using it all, and how the structure is, how it is to look at. All the details have been provided. And concluding, what is the conclusion? In conclusion, we have said that the teeth has manifold uses. So a proper topical sentence has been used, a proper conclusion is there, and in between we can find all the information is connected to the topic canine teeth. Thus we see that this is a perfect example of a correct paragraph. So that's all about your paragraph writing. I hope it's clear to all of you. God bless you all, dear.